Welcome students for Chemistry in Everyday Life Part 6. In this video, we shall study about chemistry in cleansing agents such as soaps, detergents and mechanism of cleansing action. Chemistry in cleansing agents. In day-to-day life student, we are using either the soap or detergents which brings about the cleansing action of the dirt. Now let us understand meaning of cleansing agents. Students, these are the chemical substances which concentrate at the surface of the solution or interfaces, form surface films, reduces surface tension of the solution and even help in removing the dirt and dust by emulsifying the grease. So student, this is nothing but cleansing agents, which is also called as surface active agents or even surfactants. Thus, cleansing agents are of two main types. The first one, soaps, and the second is the detergents. Let us in detail study about soaps. Soaps are sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids such as lauric acid, palmitic acid and stearic acid. So students, soaps are either the sodium or potassium salts of the long chain fatty acids. Now let us study about the glycerol molecule student. Glycerol is a 3-carbon alcohol with 3 hydroxyl groups. Let us study about glycerol structure, which is having a 3-carbon atom alcohol with 3 hydroxyl groups. Essential features of a fatty acid student which is involved in the soap formation. In this case, we are having two different parts of the fatty acid. The first part is the long chain hydrocarbon, whereas the second one is the functional group, that is carboxylic acid group. So students, fatty acid is a long chain of carbon atoms with carboxyl, that is COOH group at one of the end. Now let us study about types of simple lipids. In this case student, glycerol is reacted with the fatty acid. Hydroxyl group of the glycerol reacts with OH group of the carboxylic acid of given fatty acids. Thus, removal of water molecule occurs. In this case, number of fatty acid is 1. Thus, only one OH group of the glycerol is reacted with the fatty acid. So, students, we get the lipid, simple lipid as monoglyceride, whereas rest of both the hydroxyl groups are intact in the molecule, whereas only one OH group has reacted with the acid functional group. Now students, when monoglyceride is made to react with second molecule of the fatty acid, in this case, number of fatty acid involved would be 2. As a result, we get the product again by the elimination of water molecule between OH and COOH group. Thus we get diglyceride. Again student, this diglyceride molecule is having one more free OH group. So this can further react with third molecule of the fatty acid. Thus, the elimination of water occurs. Number of fatty acids combining is 3. Then the lipid which is formed is called as triglyceride. Now students, let us consider saponification reaction in which fats or oil react with strong alkali. On heating, it gives glycerol and soap molecule. Thus, when the fat or oil is made to react with 3 moles of sodium hydroxide on heating, we get glycerol molecule along with the formation of sodium salt of alkanoic acid, which is nothing but soap molecule. And this reaction student is called as saponification reaction. Now students, let us understand some of the disadvantages associated with the soap. And the first point, soaps cannot be used in hard water. And the reason for this is the soap molecule student, it either reacts with calcium or magnesium ions which are present in the hard water. Thus, it results in formation of insoluble soap along with sodium ions. And students, this insoluble soap material is forming a gummy mass as a scum which floats on the surface of the solution. Thus, the insoluble soap forms a gummy mass which reduces the cleansing action of the soap. Students, this insoluble soap further adheres to or sticks to fibers of the cloth and hinders the washing or cleansing activity of the soap. So we can conclude that soaps can't be used in the hard water. It drastically affects the cleansing property. Thus students, to overcome the disadvantages of soap with the hard water, we use detergents in the cleansing of the clothes. Detergents students, unlike soaps, they are synthetic detergents, can also conveniently used even with the hard water. So students, the cleansing action by the use of detergents can even be observed in the hard water. And students, with detergents also we are having one disadvantage. Unlike soap, they are not completely biodegradable and hence they cause water pollution. In this case student, detergent molecules are non-biodegradable, means they can't be decomposed by microorganisms of the soil and hence they even cause water pollution and soil pollution. Whereas the advantages of detergents, calcium and magnesium salts of detergents are also soluble in the water. Thus students, synthetic detergents do not form the curdy white precipitate and will not interfere in any of the cleansing property. Now let us study about classification of detergents. In this case, we are having the first type as anionic detergents and the second type as the cationic detergents, whereas the third type is non-ionic detergents. So students, we are having three different types of detergents. Now students, let us discuss first in detail about anionic detergents. They have anions at the soluble ends of the chains. If we consider sodium detergents, then examples are sodium lauryl sulfate with the molecular formula C11H23CH2OSO3 minus Na+. Students, they are sodium salts of sulfonated long chains of hydrocarbons or alcohols. When lauryl alcohol is reacted with concentrated sulfuric acid, students, we get lauryl hydrogen sulfate. In this case, hydrogen of lauryl alcohol is replaced by SO3H group from the acid. Thus, we get lauryl hydrogen sulfate as a product. This lauryl hydrogen sulfate is further reacted with a strong alkali such as sodium hydroxide. Then removal of the acidic proton from SO3H occurs with the replacement of sodium cation. So we get sodium lauryl sulfate. Thus, students, anionic detergents have anions at the soluble ends of the chains. This can be verified from sodium lauryl sulfate. In this case, the anion part, that is SO3 minus, which is present at the soluble end of the hydrocarbon chain. Let us consider an example, that is sodium N-dodecyl benzene sulfonate. Students, the structure is CH3, CH2 11 times phenyl ring, SO3 minus, Na+. In this case, the anionic part, that is SO3 minus of this detergent, which take part in the cleansing action. So normally, sodium N-dodecyl benzene sulfonate we can see which is present in toothpaste, which brings about the cleansing action of our teeth. Now students, let us understand about cationic detergents. Cationic detergents, they are quaternary ammonium salts of amines with chlorides, acetates and even bromides. So students, you can observe the structure of the quaternary ammonium salt, wherein nitrogen gets the positive charge and all the four alkyl groups which are present, they have cations at the soluble ends of the chains. And students, in the cationic detergents, they are having cations at the soluble ends of the chain. Thus students, in cationic detergents, we are having the anions as chloride, bromide or the acetate, that is CH3COO minus, whereas the cations can be long chain hydrocarbons. And students, cationic detergents are relatively more expensive when compared to anionic detergents. Thus, the application of the cationic detergents are very limited. Cationic detergents can even find the application to kill the germs, that is germicides. Now let us consider example cetyl trimethyl ammonium chloride, which is also called as N-hexadecyl trimethyl ammonium chloride. So students, this compound is present in one of the commercial product named as Pantene, which is used as a cleansing agent for the hair. Now students, let us consider non-ionic detergents. These are monoesters of polyhydric alcohols, that is many alcoholic groups, or polyethers, that is many ether groups. So let us consider an example, pentaerythritol stearate. In this compound, we are having one ester group, thus called as monoester, whereas many hydroxyl groups. And the second example is polyether. In this case, students, we are having many ether functional groups. So both these examples are accounted under non-ionic detergents. Now students, applications of non-ionic detergent is in the cleansing of utensils and various items. Let us consider mechanism of cleansing action of soap, which is very important from exam point of view. In soap molecule, students, we are having two important parts, and the first one is the long chain hydrocarbon, which is considered as non-polar tail of the soap, and student, it is oil soluble. Why? Because it is made up of hydrocarbons, that is non-polar, and oil is also non-polar. Thus the tail part dissolves in the oil. This non-polar tail is also called as hydrophobic part of the soap, and the reason behind this is the non-polar tail is insoluble in the water, or else it is water repelling. Whereas students, the soap molecule is having the second part, which is called as hydrophilic part, and the hydrophilic part is a polar end or polar head of the soap molecule, which is water soluble. Thus we can conclude that a molecule of soap has two important parts, a long hydrocarbon chain which is hydrophobic, whereas the second part, which is hydrophilic, that is water soluble part. Second, when soap is added to an oil or grease, part of the cloth or even vessel, the hydrocarbon part of the soap readily dissolves in the oil, whereas the water soluble part remains away from the oil or the grease. And the next, big molecules of oil and soap break by rubbing into small emulsified oil droplets. Students, when the non-polar tail of the soap is dissolving in the oil or grease which is adhering to our cloth, just by mechanical rubbing of the cloth, so these oils or grease would be forming small emulsified oil droplets. And students, these oil droplets are washed away by stream of water. Thus, soaps and detergents have similar mechanism of cleansing action. Thank you, students. This completes chemistry in everyday life. Thank you.